Have you ever tried to learn a new music theory concept only to find yourself asking yourself, man, maybe this is not for me. Is this something that I can do? I don't know. I don't think that I'm wired for this. And then you felt frustrated. Like, maybe other people could do this, but I can't. I know what it feels like. I've been playing guitar for 26 years now. And music theory is not something that has ever come to me very naturally. I find that when I'm looking at new concepts, I find my brain just saying, come on, bro, like, we got other stuff to do right now. This is so boring. And when you combine it with the fact that I'm holding a guitar in my hand and I'm fairly capable on the instrument, there's things I know how to play already. I'm pretty decent at playing things, sounding things out that I want to hear by ear and things like this. It's very hard. It's very hard to find the patience. And in particular, when I'm coming to a new concept that I've never learned before, that's advanced for the level that I'm at, it's not something I enjoy very much to try to approach music theory. And so if you're new and you're just trying to learn music theory, I remember what that's like. Like, I don't have fond memories of how great it was to learn music theory in the beginning. It's tedious and daunting when you're trying to learn something that maybe the person that's showing it to you, or the resource that you're trying to glean the information from, makes it seem like it's so simple, but it's really not so simple. It's just so simple for the person who has already mastered it. Again, I understand, because I still experience it to this day, but it's always been that way for me when I'm learning new things. It's like this siren, this emergency thing, that's what it feels like. My brain feels like, get me out of here. As soon as I try to look at something that I don't understand, my brain tries to turn it off. Let's get out of here and do something that we like doing. Retreat into survival mode. So I just wanted to take the time to encourage anybody who is out there that's just trying to start learning. Listen, I understand your pain. I've gone through it. I felt it. I felt the confusion. The times that I've gone to a written resource or whatever and tried to learn a concept and just left feeling, not only did I not learn it, but now I feel even less like I could learn this thing. And that's why I've decided recently to start to go all in on opening up music theory on this channel in a way that at least makes sense to my mind, to my impatient mind that doesn't enjoy doing this stuff. But I've learned how to find the joy in between there and how to organize everything in a way that makes sense to my mind. And I like to think of things in a simplistic manner, and I like to take the music theory to a functional format that I can, like, I like to take it, I like to have things in my toolbox that I can use in real life to make music with, but I don't want to get all fanatical about the theoretical things, the every little detail. That's really more like memorizing rules for like algebra or something like that. Like that doesn't interest me. I like the fact that I can use music theory to create sounds that sound good to me. And so if that idea in and of itself sounds good to you, I hope to be able to translate that knowledge to you. Here's the only thing though. It takes time and it takes patience and it takes a little bit of, dare I say it, suffering. It's just like working out. If you want to have a decent bicep muscle, you gotta go through a little bit of discomfort. It doesn't feel amazing to lift. Now, if you've ever been an athlete or someone who just enjoys to exercise a lot, you realize that you can get to a point where lifting a weight, for example, or doing a push-up or something like this can feel amazing to you. Like, it can be something that you enjoy to do because you've trained yourself in that motion so much that it's a familiar, comfortable state for your mind to go into. You learn to enjoy the good that's in the suffering, if that makes sense. I don't know if that makes sense, but maybe when I play it back, it'll make sense. To me, learning stuff that's hard to learn is like this. It may not be that much pleasure to learn it, and you may have to slow down and be patient. And you may have to feel like you don't have what it takes to learn this. I'm not smart enough for this. Or, man, I could figure this out if just I had this other piece of information, but I can't seem to find it anywhere. I've experienced all these frustrating things. And I know that if you stick it out, eventually it can actually become a thing that's not only just pure, it's not only is it not pure suffering anymore, but it actually can be, you can find joy. Because what happens is when you start to try to recall a topic and you realize you couldn't do this last week, but now you're able to do it. That's right there. That right there is growth. And you can feel a sense of accomplishment because you didn't give up on yourself. And then you find that as you progress and go to different levels of understanding of the music theory, that you're actually able to now take that to a piano and be able to make something that sounds like music with it, that sounds beautiful. You could take that concept and apply it to the guitar. Like, I could go to the guitar and I could take the major scale and I could raise the fourth to create Lydian mode. And that mode sounds brighter and it's like this spaced out kind of feeling. And I could create moods. This is powerful stuff, but what goes on is when you're trying to first learn it, your brain will be like, man, I can't do this. I'm too dumb for this. This is for smart people. This is for, like, either you're born to be able to do this or you're not. And listen, I'm not gonna lie, some people are. Some people are born to this just comes naturally to them. But I wasn't one of them. My family, I didn't grow up with any musicians in my family. Like, even though my parents always listened to music and stuff in the house, they never played no instruments in my house. My mother was a like a trumpet player or something when she was younger, but I never heard her play a trumpet. Like we didn't play no music in my house. I just picked up a guitar because I had a friend in high school that was like, "Oh man, you should come play my house, play guitar. Oh, it's so cool." And I'm like, I never even like went to his house. And then he moved away the next year, and like I found myself in high school. They forced me to take a music class, a music elective, and I was in choir, and it was like all girls with like two or three guys, and I was super shy. And I couldn't sing. Like, I gotta get out of here. Hang on, are there any other options? Oh, you could take guitar. Oh yeah, my friend told me that guitar is cool. I'll try that instead. That's how I started to play music. And then I fell in love with the guitar. I fell in love, and I'm like, well, as I want to advance with the guitar, I'm getting stuck on this music theory stuff. It's like, But what you need to do is you need to keep showing up. You need to keep showing up, because it can be figured out if you approach it right. You see, 90% of the battle of getting good at anything, to me, is just to show up. Just to show up and fight. And it doesn't almost even matter if you're any good when you do show up. Just show up and try your best. Then the next time, show up and try your best. Then the next day, show up and try to do it every day. Preferably, or with a consistent rhythm. You can promise to yourself you're going to show up, then you don't show up, because, well, 90% of the battle is just to show up. Once you show up, if you keep doing that, what will happen is it will get easier and easier. You'll start to see yourself progressing. But you do need to slow down. You need to learn how to develop beliefs that work in reality. Listen, if you believe I can't do this thing, I'm not even gonna try. Well, you'll have what you believe in. You'll be right. What you believe is true. I can't do this because you ain't gonna try. But if you decide instead, I'm gonna believe that if I keep showing up, I could conquer this thing, and you slow down and you don't judge yourself and beat yourself up too much when you suck, and you keep trying. Man, I suck today. I don't understand none of this. I'm stupid. This thing looks like Greek to me. Come back tomorrow. Oh man, I still suck. It looks like Greek to me. But like, as you're looking at it, like one thing makes a little more sense, and you keep. Then one day you're looking at something and a light bulb goes off. Oh, I understand this now. Man, thirds. Oh, look at that. All the chords are made of thirds. And I understand stacking thirds now. Right? On my channel, I'm going to be going through all this stuff to make it super easy to understand. But I've been spending time doing a super slow motion, redundant, just mastering all of the notes of the musical alphabet, the sharps and the flats, so that we know we have strong foundation on what we're building on. And then I'm going to continue to develop and to teach all the rudiments. But I wanted to stop and make this kind of motivational video because it's hard. I'm not going to pretend it's not hard, but I believe you can do it. That's why I'm making these videos for you, because I believe that if I was able to do it when I didn't have the natural talent and all of that, it didn't just come to me so easy and I got stuck or whatever, that if I show you the tricks that I learned of how to organize the stuff in my mind, it just becomes like putting all together all of the pieces of a jigsaw puzzle, and now the picture starts to make sense. You start to see the whole thing. And that's the dynamic that I want to create, to where it doesn't have to feel hard anymore. Just like it doesn't feel hard for me now. At least the stuff that I figured out. So hang around and don't beat up on yourself too much. Try to enjoy the journey, even though it might not be that fun to study certain topics and stuff like this. Do the iterations, do the reps. After a while, that bicep starts to get bigger and it starts to feel better. And I believe you can do it. But you need to believe, you need to decide, I'm going to be able to do this too. I'm going to be able to learn this music theory stuff enough to be able to play music. You got this. I'll see you in another video. Take care for now, okay? You got this.